Chapter 3, Computer and Internet Crime, Part 1 of 4, Understanding Business and IT Security. The learning outcomes include list and evaluate trade-offs and ethical issues that are associated with protected data and systems. Explain why there has been such a large increase in the number of security incidents in the last few years. First, let's look at why managers and those who use technology need to understand and be concerned about information and data security. If you look at the cyber threats and incidents that have occurred in the last few years, companies are seeing an increase in malware, phishing attacks, hacking, and spam. At the government level, we've seen attempts by foreign governments to influence the U.S. election systems. We also continue to see increases in cyber espionage, cyber warfare, and cyber terrorism. These issues affect everyone in the organization and within a country. Your data is valuable, and you don't want to inadvertently share or release the data. Bill Gates even noted the importance and relevance of security as computer capabilities increase. He theorized that people will be hesitant to use technology if security problems aren't addressed. I don't necessarily agree with him. We have become so attuned to data breaches and security lapses that they're not that important anymore. If data is released, the company will ensure that your identity isn't stolen and protect you after the fact. Of course, those are only for the incidents that we know occurred, and experts recommend that organizations only find and report about 10% of cyber attacks. Clearly, securing data and information within an organization is relevant to everyone within the organization. Those who understand, protect against, and respond to attacks on their data will be better positioned than those organizations that do not. IT security isn't a money pit, and rarely do organizations offer unlimited spending on information and data security. Rather, C-level executives like the CIO or CISO have to pitch to those who control corporate spending how much should be spent to protect the integrity of the information and data in the organization. Often, a good argument in support of increased spending is the positive impact on sales, customer goodwill, logistics planning, customer data, etc. CIOs must find a way to equate increased spending on IT security with increased sales in the long run. Finally, there must be an action plan that the firm plans to take once a breach occurs. Handling the publicity of a cybercrime requires good communications in addition to technology skills. A cross-functional plan including marketing, human resources, public relations, and information technology specialists should be planned in advance for the breach that will occur, whether the organization is aware of it or not. As you see from this graph, global spending on IT security has increased over the past few years, and information security continues to be a large part of the IT spending budget. Costs are not going down as threats continue to increase. As information technology becomes more complex and difficult to manage, organizational vulnerability also increases, leading to more computer incidents. The number of entry points in a typical organization has ballooned over the years. For instance, think about how many technology products you have within your reach right now. 1 or 2 smartphones, a tablet, a laptop, a Surface Pro. As organizations encourage students and employees to bring their own devices, an IT security plan must be able to manage these devices when they are brought into or taken out of the organization. Cloud computing provides some protection in that the data is stored off-site. However, the organization then relies on the security of the external cloud computing firm to protect its own data, and that situation has its own inherent risk that must be considered. With increases in virtualization, a corporation may expose itself to information security risk as well. With virtualization software, a layer on top of the operating system allows several machines to run on each computer. While that saves the need for numerous technology devices, it provides a single point of contact that the hackers may seek to exploit. Thus, one exploit may affect numerous systems. In sum, it is incumbent that multiple groups throughout the organization make a concerted effort to secure the data and information. To secure the information assets, IT managers and users make ethical decisions and determine which systems and data need the most protection. For instance, that's why companies place more emphasis on protecting credit card data than they do on protecting login information for the organization. The CIO and other technology professionals must make valid business arguments to secure funding for technology security. If you don't provide a way for other business managers to understand the potential impact of information security breaches, it will be difficult to get the budgeting you need to secure the organization. As more people bring their own devices, the IT manager's job becomes more difficult. Each individual technology asset that is brought into the company must be secured so that breaches don't occur. Cloud computing and virtualization only add to the problems with securing organizational data. When a breach occurs, and it's when a breach occurs, not if a breach occurs, the organization must protect the information assets and inform those who are affected. Of course, the vulnerability must be fixed as well, since you don't want to have the same problems at a later date.